Consensus says US CPI prints 3.7% today, but look closer at the distribution. 32% of forecasters are calling for 3.8 or even higher, and only 14% are below consensus. The skew is hot. Here's what most traders are going to get wrong in a couple of hours. If CPI prints hot, the dollar pops, silver dips, and the algos sell crude on higher for longer. That's a trap. And there's where retail gets stuffed out. The real trade is the reversal because a hot print doesn't just mean fewer Fed cuts. It confirms what this market has quietly believed for a year. The Fed has missed its 2% target for 5 straight years. Core PCE is sticky at 3%, and they have effectively abandoned the fight. Real yields are capped, and when real yields are capped into a hot inflation print, silver doesn't just bounce, it breaks the range it's been called for in weeks. Now, crude gets the same treatment heading into tomorrow's inventory drop. Energy is what's driving the CPI in the first place. The loop feeds itself. So today isn't about the print, it's about the reversal after the print. Let me show you exactly where I'm watching both charts and the levels that confirm the breakout is real. So let's begin with silver's technical analysis. Right now, I'm going to weekly chart, and on weekly chart here, I get to see a downward trend line and a downward trend line here. And right now, this is the parallel downwards channel, and we have seen that silver has broken to the higher side. Now, the question is whether this breakout is sustainable or temporary. So now I'll be switching to day chart here. And on the day chart, I'll be applying a falling trend line connecting the previous high and lower high here. And at the bottom, I can see here that it is again connecting the lower lows here. So again, it is a dropping wedge, and the dropping wedge has seen the bullish breakout here. So I'll be applying the first fib extension in the bullish direction here. So I'm connecting from the lowest to the first high on the day chart and connecting with the higher low here. And I need to bring the vertical line at the bottom here. Now, at the same time, I need to apply a reverse fib count from the previous high. So this is the daily previous high. So I'll be using fib retracement from high to low. So this gives us the strongest area of support and resistance. So this is the area of resistance which falls in between 78.6 to 85.4 here. And the major area of support is in between 14.6 to 23.6. So now we have highlighted the support zones and the resistance zones on the day chart, and it has already broken out of the falling wedge or the triangular pattern here. Now it's time to move to the 4-hourly frame here. Now on the 4-hourly frame, I need to start my next count from the vertical line, and it is printing a bullish pattern here, bullish structure. So we have low here followed by higher low, and we have high followed by a new higher high and a higher high. And I do not see any signs against. So between the last two highs, I see that the same pattern is being followed on MACD lines, and I see a minor divergence on histogram basis. So this shows that the buyers are exhausted at the moment, and it is a very high probability that it drops for the short term corrective pattern only. So, based on the CPI announcement, and yes, if the CPI numbers are higher than anticipated, then we will see a temporary drop and then continuation higher. So, it's time to apply the first bullish extension on the 4-hourly frame. So, I'm starting from the lowest here, from the vertical line, connecting to the first high here and the higher low here. Let's use a different color for 4-hourly extension, and I need to move the vertical line to the next point C. And now I'll be adding the next extension here. So I've connected the next bullish extension, and it's time to shift the vertical line one more time. So I see a very strong support zone falls in between 77.86 to 78.47. And it's time to zoom out and look for the resistance magnet. And the resistance magnet falls around 92.7 here. So this is the resistance magnet. Now, prior to 92.7, we have a major resistance around 87 and 88, but there are no signs against on the 4 hourly chart. Now, we can remove the extra lines. We have already highlighted the support zones and the magnet resistance areas here. And I need to zoom out on the 4 hourly frame. Now, based on the previous high on 4 hourly frame, this is the previous high and this is the new high. I do not see any divergence. It has printed higher highs and it has printed higher highs all across and even on histogram, higher highs. So now it's a matter of corrective drop and then continuation higher. So I'll be using reverse fib retracement on the previous drop on the 4 hourly chart here. So now I'm applying reverse count. Now, on the basis of reverse count, the major area of support falls in between 78 to 85, which is higher than the support magnet we have previously highlighted here. So the first area of support is expected to be at $80 mark, psychological round number, and the next deeper one is around 78.16. Now, I'll be switching to 1 hourly chart, and on the 1 hourly chart, starting from the vertical line, I can add the new retracement here. So starting from the vertical line to the 1 hourly top here, and I can see that 78 to 85 falls exactly around $80 mark. So $80 mark is the area to get in. And if you see a deeper retracement towards 78, nothing to panic. We can add more. And the last area of addition is in between 75 to 76. Most likely, it is going to touch 80 or 78 and bounce off. And the target we have already identified. So the first target is 89.25, the highlighted zone, and the next target is 92. So this is for silver. Now let's move to crude oil. Now, starting on the weekly frame here, I have to zoom out to the fullest and I'll be using the same technique. So I'll be using the reverse fib on the previous drop on the weekly chart. Now I'm going to highlight the area between 78 to 85. So this is the support zone, which is highlighted on the weekly frame. Now I'm switching to day chart. And on the day chart, after this parabolic run, we got the drop and the sellers, they exited exactly at the highlighted support zone. So this area is acting as very strong support. Now it's forming a triangular pattern here. Now on the day chart, I can see that the highs are getting lower. So we see a lower high formation here. And I can see higher lows at the same time. So it is now printing a triangular pattern. Now switching to 4 hourly frame, we can refine the line so we can adjust and we can connect to the exact highs on the 4 hourly frame here. So the falling trend line and the rising trend line corrected and applied. And we have seen bullish divergence here. So this is the lower low formation with bullish divergence. And the buyers, they have completed the formality of breaking the structure here. So this is the break of structure. So after creating a new high and breaking the structure and retracing now, so I need to check the retracement. So after this bullish impulse, I need to apply fib retracement here. So fib retracement added, and now I can highlight the resistance zone which falls in between 104.75 to 107.11. So let's highlight the resistance area with red, and the support level or support zone falls in between 88.5 to 90.3. Now we can remove the retracement here. And I'll be switching to 1 hourly frame here. Now on the 1 hourly frame, starting from the top here, so starting from the falling trend line, this is the first leg down. We got the corrective bounce. We got the next impulse down. So right now it is bouncing and it is creating a sequence of higher lows and higher highs, but it stays within the previous leg down. So this is the boundary now. So I'm going to apply retracement one more time, but this time I'll be applying only on the last 1 hourly leg down. Now, when I reapply the retracement on the last 1 hourly leg, so I get to see here a stronger area of resistance. So my expectation is that current price is 101.45. So buyers will extend it towards 103.7 to 104.8. And a further extension will push it towards the falling trend line of the triangular pattern, and the extended move is expected towards 107.26. So first target is 103.7 to 104.8, and if it extends further, the faded extended move could take it towards 107.26. Now it's time to apply fib extension here. So I'll be adding extension in the bullish direction from the lowest. So here, this is the first move up. So I'm connecting A, B, and C, and I'll be using a different color here. So green lines are showing the extension level. So the green extension 200% is exactly overlapping at 104.5. So 104.5 to 104.8, or maybe slightly extended towards 107, is the expected price of crude oil it is going to hit, and then I'll be expecting the next leg downwards. Now, in case if we see a convincing breakout above 107.26, a valid breakout with the perfect retest, then the bearish thesis would be invalidated. In fact, the thesis is neither bullish or bearish. Right now, it is consolidating within the triangular range. So the next leg down would not be anticipated if we see a valid breakout above the falling trend line. At the same time, if it breaks below the rising trend line, and if we see a price closure below 93.06 and a perfect retest, then it will continue to the next downward destination. So right now, the higher probability short-lived bullish extension towards 104.5 or max towards 107.26, then the next leg down within the triangular boundary. So this is the plan for the current week for crude oil and silver. That's it for today's silver and crude breakdown. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm going live with the midweek XAU USD analysis. Gold setup post CPI is going to be the one you don't want to miss. And our next full weekly forecast drops Sunday. Trade safe, stay sharp, see you tomorrow.